Hi guys! So today I decided to make some pizza at home. It's been over a month since we ate pizza, and with everything that happened with the delivery boy, it's been super hard and super difficult to order from outside. So I decided to get some pizza dough going, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. If you've seen my focaccia recipe, I'm gonna link to it in this video. This is gonna be super easy for you to make this dough, and it is almost exactly the same. We're just gonna let this one rise a little bit longer and then roll it out for the pizza. So let's get started. To make the dough, we're going to need the following ingredients. I have about 500 grams of flour, some sugar, 1 packet of yeast, and like I say, just follow the instructions on your packet of yeast. Different brands call for different measurements. About 300 ml of warm water. The temperature of this should be about 40 to 50 degrees. It shouldn't be too hot, otherwise the yeast will not bloom, and it shouldn't be too cold because that's gonna lead to a disaster as well. If your yeast doesn't bloom, just discard that batch and start afresh. Some extra virgin olive oil, some salt, and I've got a little bit of suji or semolina, which I'm going to use to dust the surface when I'm baking the pizza. You can completely skip this, or you can use plain flour in place of this as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to mix the sugar in this warm water. Now remember, the temperature of this water is essential. It shouldn't be too hot. Added the sugar. Gonna give it a quick mix. Now I'm adding the yeast. Gonna give it a quick mix. Now I'm gonna leave this for about 10 minutes until it's creamy and frothy. So while the yeast is blooming, we're just gonna quickly mix our flour with the rest of the ingredients. I'm gonna add about half a tablespoon of salt and about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So we're gonna give this a quick mix before we add the yeast. If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, that's completely fine. Just use your hands. In fact, a pizza dough, a bread always works better if you are using your hands. But I'm in a rush because everyone's wanting lunch right now. So we're quickly gonna use this and save some time. Now yeast is done, and you're gonna know that it's done when it's frothy at the top. Different yeasts react differently, so some might froth up a lot more, some may just froth up just a little bit, but I know it's frothy on top, so I know it's done. So I'm gonna just quickly add this to my flour mixture. So we're just gonna knead this now for about 10 minutes. If you use your hands, just keep kneading over and over again, just stretch out the flour. If you want to see how I knead it with the hand, go to a focaccia recipe and check it out, because it's almost the same way. So this has been kneading for about 10 minutes, and now I'm just gonna rub some oil on it and let it sit for about 2 hours. We just put some oil just so that it doesn't form a crust. This is a damp kitchen cloth, and I'm just gonna put it in this and wait for this to get double its volume.
2 hours later.
This has risen beautifully. Now all we're gonna do is we're gonna just take this dough and shape them into balls and leave them to proof for another 40 minutes. And let's leave this for another 45 minutes. Roll this out. Just lightly flour the surface that you're working with, and just press it down with your hand. That's it. You don't need a rolling pin for this. Just use your fingers. The edges up, just to know till where I'm going to put my toppings and my sauce. So I've put this on a non-stick mat. If you don't have this, you can even use a parchment paper. If you have a pizza stone, that's the best option. I don't have a pizza stone, so I'm just putting it on this. If you're putting it directly on your baking sheet, remember the semolina that we had initially mentioned in the recipe. Just sprinkle a little bit of that so that it doesn't stick onto the surface. And if you don't have an oven, then you can do this on the gas as well. It's super easy, and just cover it with the lid it, that's it. Now let's start with the toppings. So we're gonna make a pepperoni and cheese classic pizza right now. Don't worry about the shape of the dough. If it's not round, doesn't matter, it's still gonna taste excellent. And now we're gonna put some sauce. Spread the sauce to the edges. I've also rolled up the edges a little bit just to know to where my sauce needs to go. Some grated cheese. You can use whatever cheese you have at home. I'm using a mozzarella and cheddar blend. I really like the flavor of that. You can use plain mozzarella, you can use your Amul cheese, whatever you get. Just put some pepperonis on top. More the merrier, right? And some more cheese. Now we're gonna bake this at 220 degrees. That's the maximum my oven goes. For about 10 minutes till you see the cheese melting on top.
11 minutes later.
I'm excited. I haven't eaten pizza for a month. Ever since the lockdown, we've not ordered in.